The Age of Aquarius, the 12th lecture. This lecture will be devoted to the comprehension of the spiritual and religious paradoxes. The spirituality and religion contains of a lot of paradoxes. These paradoxes were met even in the Bible, but now, at the age of Aquarius, the new religious and spiritual paradoxes have appeared, and nobody on the earth knows about them, only I know about them. And maybe someone can guess about it. I can't argue with it, but I can explain it to you if you don't know them. So let's at first give the definition to the spiritual paradox. Spiritual paradox is the misunderstanding or double understanding of some spiritual law. It means that from one side spirituality must be considered as one part, and from other side the spirituality must be considered as another part. But so when one part of spirituality is considered in two ways or in three ways, the spiritual paradox appears. We will begin with the list of I'll tell you some spiritual paradoxes, the list of them. So, the first spiritual paradox is called the first great spiritual law. It is the paradox devoted to the methods of devil and the aim of God. The greatest people use methods of devil for making the production of God. It is the first spiritual law, one of the greatest. It is considered with our society. What does it mean? It means that we can use the methods of the devil, the methods of influence, when we want to produce an effect of God. If we want to create the positive result, and there is the presence of sacrifice of the less for the most. We sacrifice the less part for the most part. So the greatest spiritual leaders sacrifice the spiritual part of their soul for progressing the society. So there were a lot of revolutions that used the methods of devil, the methods of recreation in our society. But if the revolution resulted to the positive part, it meant that the sacrifices were right. It is the first spiritual law, the law of sacrifice of the less to the most. That's why if some well-known leaders used this program, these processes, when they used the negative for creative, more positive. If some leaders or some group of people make a revolution in the society, then it means that they use their force. They harm other people, they kill them or something like that. So it is, these are the methods of devil. But if the result of it will be positive in future for all humankind, for all humanity, for all mankind, it means that this result justifies the purpose. So we can use the methods of devil for producing the product of God. It's really important to understand. The second great spiritual paradox is that we mustn't refuse from the devil, because he can save us from crucifixion, from crucifix, and we mustn't refuse from our God, because he can send us to the paradise. It is the law of the golden mean, of the golden middle. It means that if we do our action, we must be in the middle of our action. We must place the golden mean. We must be in the central part. We mustn't go to the left or to the right. Even in the construction of our body, this law is reflected, because we have our Sushumna channel, the central channel, our Pingala channel, and the Kundalini, our sacral energy, must raise through Sushumna, through central channel. So this law is reflected here. We must be here. We must have here the God and the devil. But if we belong to the God, the part of God must be more explicit. And we have the part of the devil. The part of God must be less explicit, must be inexplicit. So, but in every individual there are two parts. So the golden mean is expressed even in the construction of our body, in our physical body. We can know Sushumna, Pingala, Nadi, but Kundalini comes through Sushumna over our crown chakra, not through Pingala or Nadi. That's why the center, this law of equality of energy, the great balance, is even reflected in our physical construction. So this law is important too. This law is really important. The next law. I love and believe our God, but I esteem our devil too, because his position in the universe is unshakable, is firm. This law is really important too, because we love and believe our God. We believe in there are a lot of Christians, there are a lot of religious people, but we must understand that we must esteem the devil, and we must pay attention to him. And that's really important. We mustn't refuse from him, because his position is really important in our universe. He is the second after our God. Our God is the first, and the devil is the second. And other angels, even Jesus Christ, are the third, the fourth, the fifth. The God is the first, the devil is the second. Other are further. So the devil's position is fixed to the God position. So, as I have told you in the previous lecture, the God's position and the devil's position are united in the managing part. The managing part consists of 2/3 of God and 1/3 of devil. So the devil isn't the personality, and the God isn't the personality, because they are the greatest part of positive energy and the greatest part of negative energy, but they have their own mind and they have their individuality and personality. They have their personality, but they are not persons, they are not individuals. They are the mightiest potential with the individuality and personality. So they are forever dependent from each other. The God is dependent from the devil, and the devil is in dependence from our God. They are self-dependent. They depend from each other, because the devil helps our God to develop the souls through calming the negative parts and choosing between positive and negative. The God gives the negative souls to the devil because the most expensive goods in our universe is the soul. So it is the struggle of souls for belonging to God or to the devil. So God and the devil doesn't fight with each other. They make the souls fight for positive or negative and choose, because the devil is chosen the negative part, the God is chosen the positive part. God belongs to positive. He doesn't even belong. He's the strongest part of positive. He's the pure positive potential, and the devil is the pure negative potential. But the humans and other alive structures, alive individuals, don't still belong to the God or to the devil, so they might choose. And this choice is real because it comes through different part of our life, and we choose between positive and negative, and we define our belonging. To the God, we define our belonging, we determine our belonging. Whom we belong, to the God or to the devil. And this information is really important. You must pay your attention to it. So today I told you about 3 greatest laws. In the next lecture I tell you the next lecture will be a continuation of this lecture, and I tell you about the other laws of spirituality, of spiritual paradoxes that were transmitted to me by the highest mind. So goodbye, see you soon, thank you for attention. I think this lecture is useful for spiritual and religious health. Goodbye.